For this video essay, I would like to focus on Steve McQueen's film Hunger. This film takes us through the life of the prisoners and their different protests. However, I would like to put my main focus on the guards from the prison. As you can see, we are introduced with our first guard. We will find ourselves following him along through most of this movie. He tends to return to the sink in front of the mirror quite often throughout this film. He soaks his hands, which they're usually caused from the prisoners, from either getting in a fight or just having to take action on bad behavior. I believe this is a place where the guard comes to gather himself. This mirror scene is followed by an important one. Our guard walks outside to check his surroundings. The prison holds many members of the IRA. The IRA contained many trained killers who were especially loyal to their fellow members. Therefore, as we can see how paranoid this guard looks, the IRA has a target on the guards at the Irish prison, so they must be on their toes and aware of their surroundings at all times. They even have to go as far as checking under their vehicles for bombs. I think it's interesting to see the look on his wife, I'm assuming his wife's face at this point. She looks worried as he checks everything, and you can see she kind of holds her breath right here. And then a sigh of relief that he made it out of their driveway safely. I think this part is important as well because it kind of shows that he never has a happy look on his face. He always looks miserable. Here we are introduced to another scene where he is soaking his knuckles, and as you can see, the look on his face is more, he's mad, he's disappointed. There's just a lot of emotions going on with him in this. You can see the fresh blood, which means he more than likely got it from just getting in a fight with a prisoner, or he had to take action on bad behavior. And most of his scenes where he returns to the sink are followed by himself stepping outside in this cold snow without a jacket for a smoke. I'm not sure why Steve McQueen chose to put this in the film, but if I were to guess, I would say it looks like he's blowing off steam. This is where he gets his me time outside of the prison, but he's still safe within the prison fence from any IRA assassins. So here's a kind of a difficult scene to watch. The prisoners are being removed from their cells to get cleaned, basically. One of the protests that the prisoners held was a no-wash protest, which is basically exactly what it sounds like. They didn't wash their cells, they didn't wash their clothes, their sheets, their walls are disgusting. They would use the restroom wherever and throw it along places. So when the prison guards took action to take them out of their cells and ruin this protest for them, as you can see, they're very angry about it. In the no-wash protest, there was also the blanket protest, where they didn't clean those as well. So those, I mean, as you can imagine, there's probably bugs and who knows what growing around these prison walls. From this movie, almost every interaction that the prison guards have with the prisoners is very aggressive, rough, usually involves beatings, and a lot of blood, actually. Here we are introduced to another scene in front of the mirror, and the reason I added this one in is because it shows what leads to his reflection time in a way. I feel that this is a place where he comes to look at him and make sure it's still him after he acted out so badly on a prisoner. My reason for following the guards throughout this film is because I believe that Steve McQueen tries to show that every guard starts somewhere. They start with just a job, and then they are led to... no one entering this prison was probably extremely comfortable with beating prisoners at first, but as they carry on and they see other prisoners getting in fights with prison guards basically on the daily, it becomes a norm to them, which they eventually confine to. This is a very important scene. So this was a part of the No Wash protest, which we were introduced at the beginning of the film with two prisoners that were involved in the IRA, and they pay attention to the circle. It's made of poop. After they eat their food, they poop it out in a pile in the corner, and then they spread it around. I think that this circle has a lot of significance because it's a circle of shit. The prisoners and the guards are all stuck in this circle within the walls of the prison. Yes, the guards could just quit their job, but they're already in danger. And the prison is the only place that they're really safe from the IRA members, basically. So I think that's what the circle of poop represents. This is where I make my main point in the film. This shows a young guard, looks new, looks innocent, and there's a protest going on, so all the prisoners are fighting, so they called in backup. And this guard looks new. He's innocent. So he looks terrified, and there's Stephen McQueen provides many close-ups of his face where he just looks scared. He doesn't know what he's about to get into. And the older ones look at him like he's naive, like, just wait, you know? And so that's why I think that it shows that the guards don't start out mean. You know, when we see this film, we think, wow, they're really harsh, but they just conform to whatever they see around them on the daily. This is another prisoner that these two prisoners were the ones involved in the circle of poop on the wall. They are also being removed from their cell to be cleaned, and for their cell to be cleaned since it has so much of everything all over it. As you can see, our new innocent guard is staring at all the beating. Like, what do I do? He's lost. He doesn't know what to do. He knows what he's supposed to do, but it looks like in his face he's having a struggle dealing with actually acting out on the prisoners. But however, we see him in just a second giving in like they all eventually do. It may have been out of fear, and it may have been out of anger, or him just being afraid that he's not doing his job. But we see our new innocent come and brutally beat one of the prisoners, actually. This is him. So our scared prisoner, or prison guard, is now the one that's being watched everyone standing in a circle just watching him beat this prisoner. And here's the effect. I feel that the guards go through kind of a who am I moment. Like, they act out on these prisoners, they're doing these things, and then they have to take a second for themselves to remember that they are not a bad person. For our final clip, we are introduced to why our main guard that we've been following throughout the film is so paranoid. He is here at a nursing center, to see a nursing home, to see his mother. And it's just, notice he didn't really check his surroundings when he walked in. He just walked straight in.
Hi, Mom.
The nursing home seems to be a safe zone to him. So he comes in, all of his guard is down, just to visit his mother.
What are you doing sitting in here?
And a member of the IRA finds him. And basically, you'll see his fate, and that this is the fate that many of the guards have come to when they are just exposed out into the open.
Dizzy's.
Thank you.